Dale called, right? Dale called in to the show before, and we gonna check the call out, man. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I want y'all to hear Dale calling into the show. And smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. What's going on, Dale, man? You know, we appreciate you calling in, my brother, you know. And we wanted to definitely rap to you about a few things. And, you know, we already know where some of the things stand at. But we do want to hear from you, you know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. The situation is what it is. You know, we want to hear some things from you about the situation. And you can confirm to us what was going on, you know, with Big U extorting you.
I think, well, I'm not completely ready for the call. But the person that called me right now is a very important person to me. And, you know, they wanted me to kind of just say something, you know, right now, but maybe sometime we could schedule something that's a little more, you know, appropriate and, you know, give me a time to think. Because every day I'm waking up, it's a new blow. Sometimes it's hard to just, you know, take a real grasp on everything because, you know, I've been lost in the sauce and it's real easy to get lost in the sauce. And even with this case and, you know, we kind of get lost, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got this stuff where, like, you know, you're a rat, you're a snitch. And, you know, it's interesting. The other day, one of my homegirls had a situation where she was kind of, she didn't want to tell nobody about it. And, you know, I'm like, man, you got to go deal with this shit because this else, you know? And, you know, but it's like, it's so much going on for me. You know, I want to be in like a good state of mind to speak. But I think I can, you know, probably talk a little bit right now, but maybe not, you know, not too much.
Okay. Well, you know, let us know, you know, what you want to tell us. You know, I might ask you a few things, you know, honestly, but, you know, what you want to tell us.
Well, at this point, I don't really want to tell anything. And you know what? That's not true. I want to fuck some shit.
Let's go.
Like, I really do. Well, that's the thing, right? I can't be reactive. I can't be, you know what I'm saying? Just jumping, you know, jump and just go because it's a lot to it. And I don't want things to get lost in the sauce. The main thing that I've realized in the last couple of days, and I always kind of known this, right? And, you know, you got, I don't know if you, well, I'm sure you know now because of who contacted us that Marciano was one of my best friends. And Marciano is one of my best friends.
And y'all hear that? Marciano was the guy that got robbed, stripped, beat, and pistol whipped outside of No Jumper. And Dale says that that's one of his best friends. Pay attention to that.
It's a lot to say. It's a lot that I want to say. It's just, you know, can't be too reactionary. But when I see a lot of this stuff, I realize that a lot of this shit is for clicks, for views, for subscriptions, and it's how you make, you know, how people make their livelihood. And I'm seeing a lot of things being distorted, a lot of things being cut, and the people are telling the story, and I don't have a chance to tell my story at all.
That's why
and so I want to. Well, yeah, but again, you know, I just don't. And so just so you know, I've watched your thing before, and I like what you do, and I respect what you do. But it's just as I'm getting older, I don't want to be like very reactive, right? And just like, oh, my man just called me on the phone. I'm on the thing with SBTV. Oh yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that because this is, you know, this is you know, it's my entire, you know, life, and you know, I'm just not in a really good place. But I do want to say that I do have a story. I do have a side. You know, people are paying people $200, $300 to tell them things about me. Not a lot of this stuff is true, and I can't wait to tell my side. But just
I tell you what, hey Dale, I can cut you off, King. King Deezy. Do you think that we can set up something and utilize the platform for this other side of the coin?
Definitely. Definitely.
Absolutely.
We can set it up, but the people, why we got you here, Dale, at least, let the people know a little, something. You ain't got to go all the way into detail, but we already got somewhat of what the people are saying. The facts are of why, you feel what I'm saying, Big U was grabbed up. So the people want to, at least know the confirmation, because we know Loose Cannon is telling. You know what I'm saying? We know that you talk to the people. We know this, right? So we understand all that, but the people still want to know, hearing from you, the confirmation about Big U running this extortion game. And I just played the audio with you, Loose Cannon, and Jay Reed that Loose Cannon dropped like 6 months ago, confirming what he had supposedly done to you, running down on you in the likeness and for Big U. So, the people already heard all that. They just, a little confirmation from what's already out there will definitely, you feel what I'm saying? Let it be known.
I will say that phone call, right, which was recorded without my knowledge, and it was the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? My man called me on the phone, and I was on boom. I was already on three different. You know what I'm saying? like, and then I always told Jay Reed, like, stay away from that shit. You like the limelight. Damn, am I on thing right now?
Yeah, you on, Dale?
Okay, got it. Well, see, like let's see, what can I say? As far as Loose Cannon go, I don't think he works for the police. I don't think he's telling. I think he's lost in the sauce, kind of. I think he wants the celebrity, he wants the clout and stuff like that. I do think he might end up telling because of what Big U has done to him too.
He already took the proffer agreement. He already took a proffer. I just put it up there.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just put the proffer.
A lot of times, right? A reflection of what happens to you through life is a reflection of what you've done through life. And I think that, when you look at, even the Nipsey Hussle situation and, what Nip and, Big Man went through, it's like we're not dealing with one of the best peoples in the world. We're dealing with, a lot of these people are pro-black only when it matters. Even one day I seen Loose Cannon on the show talking about, oh, yeah, y'all niggas like Willie Lynch, y'all want me to get locked up and this and then that. But then, you know what I'm saying? You just fucking jump Marciano, bro. Nigga's 60 years old. You took him off his clothes and it's only pro-black sometimes. They're only community people sometimes. And nobody really knows these people. When you look at Nip contract, 10 years for 30%, that shit's fucking demonic, right? When a motherfucker doing something good in the hood and you want to chase him out and belittle him and shit like that, the type of person that, you kind of dealing with, some people tell me yo, D, keep your head up. That shit was gonna happen with, and no matter what. And I just hate the fact that I'm a part of it, or I'm a part of it. But why was I even in that situation? Even after the feds had got me,
the people already know what it is, though, Dale. You feel what I'm saying? So
I don't think they know. They know what they're being told, and then remember. There's a complaint, and then there's an indictment, and then there's something stronger than even that, right? So a lot of complaints and indictments are being pieced together to do and say certain things, and and then I do respect this shit, and I do understand the business part of it. I do know that what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is for. And like I said, I watch you, and I know the man that hooked us up. There's nobody more pro-black than this guy. You know what I'm saying? Brother, sister type thing. And I respect him a lot. But just afford me some time to think, and maybe we can have a pre-discussion about, the agenda here. What are we trying to do? Because, everything should have a purpose to it, and a purpose to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Even when I think about Big U and I think about Loose Cannon and, there's anger and there's animosity and there's hurt and there's all of this shit involved in it. You know what I mean? I still know that as black people, we're still fucking products of our environment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think for me to win, you got to lose. And, you know, that's a big problem. And that's what my brand, Everybody Eats, was always about. Like, you know, we can all kind of survive the way you got 50 jewelers on the same block, but they can all get along. You know what I'm saying? It's not really dog eat dog. But some people are from a world where it's just dog eat dog. You know what I mean? And that's part of my agenda, that it ain't fucking got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That a black man ain't got to step on another black man. The old niggas ain't got to step on the young niggas, like, you know, to where they can't breathe. Like, this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot that goes on. And you know, I want to kind of have a purpose for it. I want to have like a direction of where we're going. And, you know, I'm kind of just thrown in right now. And I know that I'm not supposed to let that happen to me. And so, you know, I'm probably going to stop talking. But at the same time, I would like to talk off this thing and see, try to do, you know what I mean? And kind of go like that. But,
I'm just trying to get your situation out there on your side, Dale, whereas though the people can understand, you know, the reasoning, you know what I mean? Because it's a reason for everything in life. And, you know, we all got to make our own decisions. Yes. So,
well, I think the biggest thing for me about how I ended up where I ended up is because it's like someone trying to break you and then it works. I don't know if your girl, you know, if you ever had a girlfriend or somebody that tried to get you mad and then it actually works. And then, you know, someone's trying to break you and then I was fucking broken. And I'm not, you know, I don't have the fire that I used to have, the ambition that I used to have. I don't have any of that thing, right? So yeah, man. I think, well, like I told Kraft, you know what I'm saying? You know, we could definitely have that conversation. I mean, there's people offering me $5,000, $10,000. I haven't really taken any of them. And you've already gotten, you know, because, you know, I can't work no more. I can't be outside no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very tricky for me. It's very fucked up. For me, it's fucked up for a lot of people. But, you know, let's just have that conversation and then, you know, go from there. I think.
All right, Dale.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you letting me off today.
Yeah, listen, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. You know, I just, you know, wanted to ask you. So, you know, because the people look at it like, you know, what Big U did was foul. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, we know that you did what you did and it's foul because you was out there.
I could say, yeah, it's foul. It sucks, and it's a lot of foul things. And you know, I'm not the only one that foul things happen to. And you know, yeah.
I mean, it's going down. It's already going down, Dale. So you know what it is. You know, if you know, people did what they did, and you know, it is what it is. You know, that bid, people got delay in it. You know. So we gotta, you know, take it from here. Life keeps on going regardless of what happened, and you know, it is what it is. It done went down.
Yeah, and then you know, as we go through what happened, you know, there's a lot of people that this just happened to all across, I think, and you know, for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, looking at this shit like, well, yeah, man. We'll talk. And hey, thanks for reaching out.
Yo, it's your boy Deezy. Hit that subscribe button. You already know it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah. Hey, yo, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. You know, y'all see where I'm going with this, right? So when Hoover Gumby is saying that Wack paid Dale, and that was Dale right there on the line. Hoover Gumby saying Wack paid Dale. We not going for that. That shit don't even make sense. Don't add up. Dale was being extorted, man. Wack didn't have to pay the nigga. They came together to take Big U down. Straight up. You know, Dale couldn't hustle the same. Dale hiding from niggas. Dale done, you know, got himself in some shit. So Wack didn't have to pay him for that. Hell no. For what? Why? That nigga wanted Big U off the street too. Then made the man life and living hell. You think he was going to just never report the nigga? Straight up. You know, that's what people got to understand though too, right? You can't just run pressure on people and think that they not going to tell. And you know, maybe Big U thought because the nigga had the illegal weed dispensary and, you know, he was selling the bud and whatever else he was doing, that the nigga wasn't going to never say nothing. He going to just keep allowing them to store them. It was an easy victim. Man, I could just run through this nigga, take this nigga money because he was sweet like that, right? Ain't no way, you know, that the man was just going to allow that to go on forever. It has to be like a crash somewhere in that system. And the crash comes when a nigga start telling. You know? Yeah. The crash comes when a nigga say, all right, I'm done with you. Man, listen, I'm telling people on your ass. Wack scared to death. Dale scared. And Molly Mall scared. Wack knew that the situation with Big U was going on, you know, with Molly Mall at the studio. I guarantee you, right? Loose Cannon filled Wack in detail about the situation with the little boy in Vegas. I guarantee you that. Because soon as Wack start talking about that situation, you see how Loose Cannon didn't want no parts of that. We all seen. Soon as Wack start talking about that homicide in Vegas, Loose Cannon didn't want no parts. He didn't want to be a part of that discussion. Out of all the discussions, you know, that Loose Cannon wanted to be a part of about Big U and, you know, talking about the robbery and shit, that there, he didn't want to be a part of it. It's either that, you know, because he told Wack everything, or he had something to do with it. You know? Shit is like definitely gonna come out. Yeah, shit gonna come out. You know, it's getting closer to the trial. Shit gonna come out with this shit. Oh yeah. You know, Wack trying to deflect, talking about everything else and making shit up. He thinks that his deflection game is gonna help everybody look at it different than what it really is. Nah. We gonna keep it in the light. We gonna keep everybody understanding. You know, that shit that Wack do when he try to manipulate and then talk about something else and go at a certain individual to try to like throw you off. It just don't work with us though. That's all. Because he's used to doing that. Switch the topic, start running the narrative on a certain individual, and now everybody's paying attention to the narrative he's running, and you stop thinking about what's really going on. It just hasn't worked with this situation with Wack. So I know that he's feeling it. When all of the time that Wack has been on the internet, he's always been able to spin the narrative, no matter who said what about Wack. They can try to talk about Wack 1 minute, Wack spin the narrative, everybody else goes to the different subject. That's what we didn't do, right? There's plenty of people that talk about Wack on the internet, but what we didn't do, we didn't allow Wack to spin the narrative and shoot it this way. Nah, we stayed on it, and at the same time, shit that he do, we on it. So he feeling that.
because he's always running a play and a lie. Now we exposing this shit. They don't even call themselves the exposers no more. That shit went out the window.